All right. I am Ozou'ne Sundalyah, the Ozou'ne way. Yes, indeed, you can play the Ozou'ne way. And so I'm here to share with you another idea, another concept. I really love what I do. I really enjoy this. And so, it's going to be a wonderful, hopefully a great journey with me through melody, harmony, and chord progression. Okay, melody, harmony, and chord progression. Melody I would see as a horizontal movement from one destination to another, from left to right or right to left. It can be vertical too, depending on how you look at it. But it's moving from point A to point B and possibly back to point A, sometimes A, B to C, and, back to. Harmony is what we can look at as being stacks, layers of sound colors, and that accompanies melody. So it supports the melody, giving it a nice cushion of sorts. So when we play the melody, the tune, that is the aspect of music that helps us to identify the particular piece that we're playing or the particular song that we hear being sung by a singer or, vocalist, singer or vocalist. All right, so for example, if you heard this, which is a very common nursery rhyme and also used to, we learned this to sing the alphabet. Yes, so twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, or also A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. That's how I learned it when I was a little kid. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Okay? All right. So that was the melody. If we were to play the accompaniment, that's the chords, the harmony, I'd probably play something like this because it's in the key of C and I started with, okay, so this C and this G is a part of the C major triad, okay? So the most likely chord that I would play to accompany this would be C major triad. Because these two notes are within the triad of C major. So that's C, E, and G, 1, 3, and 5. And so the chord that I'd be playing at the bottom to accompany the melody would be, of course, 1, 3, and 5. Now, this that I'm saying to you, this is at its very basic level, okay? So bear with me, we'll get to hopefully the juicier parts later on, okay? Now I'm going to change the next note to go to A. Okay, so because of the three primary triads, which I spoke about in a previous video, I would probably be inclined to play an F chord. And the F chord accompanies the A melody. So that's your A, A is within the F major triad, F, A, and C. And then I'd go back to the C. Okay? I have two options. I can play an F again, which is the F chord because of the F melody. Go back to C major triad. And then go to G major triad. Okay? And G major triad has in it G, B, and D, hence why I would have chosen that. What we learn when we're learning chord progressions is we learn what are known as the primary triads and secondary triads. The primary triads are 1, 4, 5, C major triad, F major triad, and G major triad. And those, of course, are built on the three aforementioned names. C major triad built on the note C, which is C, E, and G, 1, 3, 5. F major triad built on the note F, which is F, A, and C, that's 4, 6, and 8, the octave note. G major triad built on the fifth of C, the fifth interval, which is G, B, and D respectively. So that would be 5, 7, and 9. Okay? I've covered this again, as I mentioned in a previous video. So if you're not sure, I'll put the link there. You can always check out that video. It basically tells you and covers all of this. So I'm still doing it anyway, just per adventure. You're not familiar with this, okay? Those of you who are familiar, bear with me. You know, we all had to start somewhere, okay? All right, so 1, 3, 5, C, E, and G. F, A, and C is 4, 6, and 8. 8 being the octave, that's C again. 5, 5, 7, and 9. 9 is higher than 8. Okay, that's D, G, B, and D. Okay, so that's what's going on here. So I'm going to try this again. I want you to listen. So this is using the three primary triads. So I'm playing all the chords in the left hand in root position. So it's very nice, it's very basic, it works, yeah? So this is now from a fundamental point of view. Now remember that we have, you know, many notes, many ways to play the same notes. So for example, if I did what is referred to as an inversion, I could start by playing the root inversion of C major to start my melody in the right hand, accompanied by the left hand, which is the chords, the harmony, right? So watch this. Okay, so I played the same chord in root position, and then I went to the first inversion just to change the color. It's the same chord, but it sounds a little different because I moved from here. Okay. So that's C down the bottom, okay, up to E, same C chord, okay, so that's kind of like a lead in, okay, so that's not there, that could act as a passing note, okay, so check this. What a difference a note makes. So did you hear that? Okay, so let's listen again. So I played a C major chord here, but instead of going back to C in the root, I opted to play G in the root as the lowest note. In other words, the supporting bass note, okay, is G. And then from C major with G in the left hand in the bass, I'd resolve to G major root position. Now, one of the ways that we as pianists, we learn to play is we learn to play what's referred to as open chords. Open chords. This is a closed chord. It's close, okay, so it's closed. When we open the chord, what we do is we take out usually the middle note and we place that middle note at the top. So you hear the difference? It's nice, but listen to how very free it sounds when you do it here. It's very, you know, it's almost like it gives you a little space to breathe. You hear that? It's very light. It's a lot lighter, okay? All right. So. This is first inversion. I played it closed before, now I'm opening it. Okay. Alright, so open F, which is a 10th. Okay, we're going to expand on this a little bit. The more chords that you study and get to know and learn and know again, because you learn it, you know it, you learn it, you know it until you begin to really know, then of course the more options you'll have in terms of selecting, you know, what kind of harmony you want to use with this. This is C major. Okay, the key, C major. Okay, the key of C major. And let's say, for example, I wanted to really change the color. I know that the starting note is a C. So what I'd have to figure out is which chord naturally generates a C. Okay, and believe me, there's so many of them. So the basic note that generates C already is C major triad, C minor triad. So I could have started it that way. All right. Now, that's an interesting sound, right? So listen to it. Okay, yeah, it's a stretch, but I'm just letting you know that, you know, you have options in terms of your notes, okay? All right. I'm going to try to keep it simple so you can see. So that was one. Okay, what we call a parallel minor. All right, so here we go. Another note, okay, that is compatible is A minor. C would now become the third, minor third in the A minor chord, okay? So that's your A minor, same C, so listen to this. Okay, so remember, I'm being very true. I'm just playing the notes that are in any triad naturally. Okay. C, check this. So C comes in the A flat triad. As a matter of fact, in the key of A flat major, so these two notes are in the key, diatonically speaking, of A flat. Did you hear that? So if I want to make it sound even more interesting, did you hear that? So I'm getting too complex already. I'm going way ahead of myself. All right, so let's see if I can explain what happened. Because I've studied and I know the scales, eventually what happens after you begin to know where all of these notes are, you can just pretty much play at random and it starts to pop into your head. All right. Okay. Breakdown. So we were at A flat. Okay. F. I could have started with the chord F because C is in the chord of F. And remember that this could act as a passing note too. So I could hold the F just like how I held the C. And I could play it like that too. One chord. But of course it's no fun if the color is not changing, you know. So you could do that maybe in your introduction. Watch this. to do that again. So this is an E flat chord that I'm playing, okay, at the bottom. So I started with playing C, and then I went to B flat, and then I went to A flat, and then I've gone to G, and then down to F, and then E flat, and then D flat, and then C. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so check this, right? I've left out the third purposefully to give it a nice ambiguous sound. B flat, so it's 1, 2, and 5. And if you want to put in the third, you can. B flats. A flat. Now I've purposefully gone to the A because I don't want to compromise the melody. But if I want it to be true to the scale, okay, of A flat, then diatonically speaking, I could alter the note, which is the original melody, and I could do this. Sorry, here we go. Okay, now this is not in A flat, and this is not in A flat, okay? But of course, if we wanted to play like a sharp 4, 1, 2, 3, a flat 5, I should say, a flat 5, okay? So I could do see, that works. Listen again. So this is diatonically speaking because of the scale of A flat, the Ionian mode of A flat. But if I did this, then I would be in the key of E flat because that's the notes in the key of E flat. Okay. So this would be referred to as a, what is it again? A Lydian scale, Lydian mode. Okay. So see, that has a really beautiful sound to it. Okay, and then G. Now here, you notice that I'm playing a C here and I'm playing a B here. Now that's kind of almost like a clash, okay? So what we could do if we wanted to do that is we could change the B here and play the C here, thus making it a little bit more compatible in terms of the sound, so we don't have that discord, so to speak. And that's relative at the end of the day because music becomes very subjective. So, you know, some people might like that sound, that tension that it causes, you know. So I could do it this way anyway. You hear how nice that sounds? So I'm going to do the other way, which is to play the straight G chord. And I could go with the original concept, which is to play 1, 2, and 5. So listen to this now. As as I'm playing this, I'm hearing sounds coming into my mind, because this gives me a very open kind of ambiguous sound, which means I can play any sort of harmony. I can imply any harmony that I wanted to, you know. So back to the original C. F. Let me play the F again. Time. I'll alter it. Let me do that again. Original melody. Okay, D flat. Original melody here. Okay, altered melody based on the diatonic scale of D flat, well, A flat actually. Okay, so before I go, I went C down to B flat to A flat to G, F, E flat, D flat, C. There's actually a logic to this, because what I'm actually doing is I'm actually playing a major scale backwards, a major scale backwards. Wow, you're thinking, what the heck does he mean? Okay, all major scales are derived from what we call the 2-1-3-1 method, okay, or concept. My wife actually was the one who coined that for me, because when I learned it as a little kid, I always used to say tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. That's the intervallic rule used to derive any and every and all major scales in any and all keys, okay? So it simply says that in order for you to get a major scale in any key, you must adhere to this intervallic rule. From the note 1 to the note D, that's one tone, okay? The measurement of a tone, the interval of a tone. So that's one tone from C to D, 1 to 2. Another tone, that's two tones, D to E. E to F is a semitone. F to G is a tone. G to A is a tone. A to B is a tone, that's three tones, and B to C is a semitone. A semitone is the shortest distance between any two notes on the piano. Semitones always occur and only occur between E to F, which is the third note to the fourth note, because there's no black key in between, and B to C, because there's no black key in between. All white keys to the black key immediately beside it, whether to the right side of it or to the left side of it, constitutes of a semitone, okay? So C to C sharp is a semitone. D to D flat is a semitone. So up and down. D to D sharp is a semitone. D sharp to E is a semitone. Likewise, E to E flat is a semitone, and E flat to D is a semitone, okay? F to F sharp, that's a semitone in distance. F sharp to G is a semitone. G to G flat is a semitone. G flat to F is also a semitone. G to G sharp, that's a semitone. G sharp to A, that's a semitone. A to A flat, that's a semitone. A flat to G, that's a semitone, okay? A to A sharp, that's a semitone, and we're talking about the measurement or the distance now, okay? A sharp to B, that's a semitone. B down to B flat, that's a semitone. B flat back to A, that's a semitone, and then B to C, okay? From this white key B up to C sharp, that's not a semitone, because you have C that's in the middle, so that's actually one tone, a whole step, okay? B to C is a semitone or a half step, semi meaning half, of course. Whole step, that's one step, so that's one tone, okay? Same thing with E to F sharp, that's a tone, a whole step, because of the presence of F that separates or is in between this key, okay? So our chromatic scale, C to C sharp, and you can hear the sound when it goes up. This is a little higher than this, little higher. This one is higher than this. This is higher than this. This is higher than this. So it's logical, you see? That's higher than this. 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 And finally, back here. So 12 tones, 7 white keys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 5 black keys. These are what they call the pentatonic, but you can get pentatonic tones basically everywhere. Once you learn this, right, then you simply can do that and you figure out all of them. so now that you understand that, so when you do the apply the same 2-1-3-1 backwards, you get tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So that's how you get the major scale backwards. Okay. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why what I played would work when you approach it with that concept. It's a little outlandish, a little weird, but hey, it's music, it's your color, it's your thing. You decide what you want to do, yeah? And then of course, with more experience, you'll decide if you'll opt to include a note, exclude a note, alter a note here or there to accommodate the melody that you're playing, you see? Okay, enjoy. I'll see you again soon.